Good morning, everyone. We have a moderate risk for severe thunderstorms today across North Dakota, South Dakota, and Minnesota. And this was issued for wind. We have also enhanced risk for severe thunderstorms around that, which is in the orange is level 3 to 5. The red is a level 4 to 5. So you're getting to a much higher scale now for this severe thunderstorm event now. And also you have that slight risk. Those are kind of the main bullseyes for the slight risk, the enhanced risk, and the moderate risk. Those are the main bullseyes for the significant severe weather expected today across the northern plains. Let's look at the tornado risk. We do have a 10% risk for tornadoes. This was not upgraded. I'm not surprised, since this is mainly going to be a big wind threat and hail threat, but definitely tornadoes will be possible within this kind of line of cluster of thunderstorms here. But let's look at the wind risk. We do have a major wind threat, upwards of over 80-mile-per-hour winds here in the pink and the red. Also the significant areas we could see over 80-mile-per-hour winds, so you need to be super weather aware. You need to be prepared for these storms if you are going to be in the path of these, especially western Minnesota here. So as you can see, the hail risk as well, also significant hail risk. You can see definitely over 2-inch plus sized hail within those storms that are just developing there. So definitely, again, very damaging storms expected today. You need to be weather aware. Stay tuned to watches and warnings. Let's look at the future radar here. This is going to be about 2 p.m.-ish. So as you can see, we move on to 3 p.m. And these storms look to be somewhat developing up here in central Nebraska. And we move forward even more. We get to around 3 p.m. We see the storms definitely really start to fire up around 4 p.m. or so. We get to about 5 p.m. And those storms look to be definitely really start to get going with that tornado threat and wind threat. I think they're going to be actually producing a big time tornado threat once these become a lot more clustered like this. There's going to be some pockets here where inflow can go in and potentially try to wrap up, produce a tornado there. Now, as you can see, we move on to around 6 p.m. or so, and these storms look to be definitely very ferocious. So definitely a big wind threat still by around 7 p.m. or so, and still a big hail threat with these storms. As you can see, some of these, even on reflectivity, show a big time hail threat. So we move on to around 7 p.m. or so, or I mean 8 p.m. or so. As you can see, even more storms develop in central Nebraska, and these start to move off into western Minnesota with a big time wind threat. Also, again, still a tornado threat as we move into the evening hours. It's going to be 8 p.m. or around 9 p.m. or so. These storms are starting to move into more of northern Minnesota. They start to diminish off as we head into the overnight hours, which is good. However, you are going to still see some storms here in portions of southern Minnesota, but really not that significant here. So the entire event here is going to be lasting from 3 p.m. here until about 12 a.m. or so. So not a super long event, but a typical severe weather event here. It's not really an overnight event or anything like that, but a typical afternoon and evening severe weather outbreak. Let's look at the significant tornado parameters before we end this video off. And as you can see, these are high. These are insane significant tornado parameters, and like I said, because of those cluster thunderstorms, there are going to be a lot of pockets for potential significant tornadoes here. And I thought they would put a significant chance for tornadoes on the SPC outlook. They did not, but there's still a 10% risk of tornadoes here. And I do think there's going to be definitely significant tornadoes possible here within that 10% chance region. Look at these. We have upwards of pretty much maxed out here, maxed out parameters in some areas. We can take a sounding. As you can see, we're seeing shears of 35. Look at this. We have a very extremely curved photograph, which is meaning that this is a very tornadic environment for these storms that they're going to be entering. As you can see, there's not much. There's definitely that tail, but it goes up. So I think it's definitely going to still be quite the tornadic environment here that we're talking about. But look at this. This is an insane turning with wind with height. Look at this. We have a little bit down there at the surface. We have these winds heading southwest, and as we head, this changes substantially as you head upwards in the atmosphere. Look at this. Look at this massive curve. That is a very tornadic environment that we're going to be talking about here. 6,000 Cape as well. That's why the hail threat is going to be so high is going to be just 6,000 cape. So definitely, again, very intense storms. With this one sounding here, this is definitely looking worrisome for the northern plains here. For anyone impacted by these storms, they are going to be intense. So make sure you're prepared for these storms. Make sure you do have an emergency kit prepared with non-perishable food, all your belongings, well, some important belongings, water and stuff like that here, because these storms are capable of producing some very strong tornadoes that can do a very big amounts of damage today. If you did enjoy the update, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new and turn on post notifications so you won't miss a single update or live stream here on this severe weather outbreak. But as always, stay safe.